All right, hello everybody. Once again, it's Joe with World War II Letters. We are continuing on with one Lieutenant Junior Grade J.J. McNabb, United States Naval Reserve. Lieutenant McNabb was stationed aboard the USS Cleveland, and he writes home to his family in Cleveland, Tennessee. I find that interesting. Why I started with him, I don't know. I have all kinds of letters by many different people on many different dates, doing many different things. But I picked these letters up from a friend of mine who's a World War II collector, such as I am. And I just thought I'd start there. But this guy's a little bit difficult for some reason. But anyway, this is kind of interesting how he writes. If you take page 1 of this next letter, they're all like this. You take page 1, when you get to page 2, you think you want to just turn it around, but no, he doesn't do that. You have to flip it this way. Kind of interesting. I haven't seen anybody else write like that, but anyway. This letter is dated June 3rd, 1944, 3 days before the Normandy invasion, and at that time, the USS Cleveland had just left Australia for refitting and was training for the preparation of the Marianas campaign. So anyway, that's what was going on. It just left Australia a little bit of time before the Marianas campaign. Anyway, June 3rd, 1944. Dear Dad, a few days late in writing, as I believe my last letter was written a little more than a week ago. Mother is having a wonderful time in Memphis, isn't she? Or rather, she had a wonderful time. I must have been in low spirits when I wrote that letter in which you said I seemed discouraged and homesick. I do not recall what I said, but you need not worry. Although I do want to come home, I am not homesick to the point of worrying. The first time I left home and visited in Knoxville, I was really homesick, and that was also the last time. At times I get pretty well fed up with things, but it blows over as soon as I pop off a little steam. I am not homesick or discouraged. I have told you before that I can take this better than most. I could stay out here for a couple of more years without coming home, but by gosh, that better not happen. Perish the thought. I had a letter from Tim Mera a couple weeks ago. He is now in the Pacific, and he says that we miss seeing each other by just 2 days. I'm hoping we will be connected one of these days. I have yet to run across any of my close friends. I've been relieved as recorder of the summary court and martial board for the as of the first of the month. I guess you know I'm happy about it. I will have to help the new recorder for the first 2 or 3 cases, but then I can forget all about it. The gunnery officer told the exec I had too much else to do. I raised my eyebrows at it, but it got me off, so I should not worry. As regards my desiring other duty, yes, I would like a change. Not because I dislike cruisers or am unhappy, but just for variety. I am hoping to get amphibious duty. I am not putting in a request now, however, for 2 nights to be transferred right out here. I want my 30 days leave in the States, and I know I will get it on here. I am glad Sis is going to get to visit in Chicago. As Mother said, she had longer. Why not take a few more days, Sis? Even if it means WOP, ? My checking account is yours with no strings attached. I wish all of you would use it and not feel it necessary to repay. Don't let Mother kid you about her spelling, Dad. She's just jealous, like me. I'm not sure about slaw, anyhow. I believe I've seen it spelled slaw, S-L-A-U-G-H, love. Funny thing about this letter, though, he wrote 2 letters, one to his father and one to his mother, so we're going to have a little bit of a benefit here. This is another quick one. I'll try to be quick. I'm getting long with this one. Dear Mother, how does it feel to be back after such a whirlwind entertainment in the big city? I know you enjoyed yourself, but I also know that you are glad to be home. I think you are likely to start something you can't finish if you try to corner Dad on his spelling He is not so hot on the typewriter, which probably accounts for those errors. I seem to recall, ages ago, that when there was any question as to the spelling of a word, we usually took Dad's word for it rather than bother with Webster. Sure, I remember Army LaPrince very well. Remarkable for me, isn't it? I would love to see all the Morgans and their children and their grandchildren. I guess that was Amy LaPrince. Sure, I remember Amy LaPrince very well. Remarkable for me, isn't it? I would love to see the Morgans and their children and grandchildren. I have to go on watch in about an hour, and I have a few things to do before then. So I will bring this to an ending. Love, Lieutenant J.J. McNabb. All right, there we go. There is letter number 3, June 3rd, 1944. Letter to his father and his mother. I have done some research for Lieutenant McNabb, and I have not found any at this time. A basic internet search has brought me nothing. Most of these people in these letters, soldiers and sailors, I can usually find something. Grave sites, records, obituaries, sometimes Army records, military, but I am not finding anything on this gentleman. Well, it's going to take a little bit more of a search, but right now we're just concentrating on letters, and I hope you enjoyed this one, June 3rd, 1944. This has been World War II Letters. Once again, P.O. Box 95711, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73143.